What's up guys, Jonny May here and welcome to this week's quick tip where I'm going to teach you two beautiful jazz runs that you can use to start just about any jazz tune. Now when I hear a lot of beginner students play a run to start a song, they'll play a very basic sort of G7 run up the piano. And there's nothing wrong with this, but if you're starting a jazz tune, you want it to sound very jazzy, you want to use more beautiful colors like the run that I just played. In today's quick tip, I'm going to teach you two runs that I love to use and they're not very hard to play. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, what I want to do first, I want to show you the typical way that I hear students play a G7 run up the piano. And basically, they'll take a G7 chord like this, and they'll do something like this. Okay? And they're basically playing the same chord up the piano, and they're usually using one hand, which is not something that I recommend that you do. So we're going to talk about how to use both hands for your run. But basically, they're taking this G7 chord, and they're just repeating all the positions up the piano. And again, there's nothing wrong with this. This is totally fine, but if you want to play jazz, you want to play more beautiful music, you want to add more color to it. So let's go ahead and talk about the first approach. I call this the cocktail piano arpeggio approach. Let me play this for you. It's the one I played at the beginning of this video. Oh, I love this sound, and after you play that, you can start your beautiful cocktail jazz or your jazz ballad, whatever you're playing. Okay, how does this run work? Well, before I teach you the run, I want to teach you the setup, because every run has a setup, right? You come into it melodically, you land on that G7 chord, and you play the run. Okay, here's the setup. We're going to do a D minor 7 chord. This is in the key of C major, so this is the 2 chord. And we're going to do this really gorgeous D minor 11 voicing, D, A, F, C, G. Okay, nice spread out. Little melody there, E, F, G. And then now we're going to land on this gorgeous chord, okay? This is G, F, A flat, B, C sharp, E. This is called a G13, okay? And then we're adding basically two colors to this chord. We're adding a flat 9, the A flat, and we're adding the sharp 11, the C sharp, okay? And it's a really beautiful way of playing a G7 chord. If you want to make a G7 sound jazzy, well, you just take these notes, you put the 7 and the 3rd up here, and then you add these colors. We got the 13, that's called a chord extension. You add the flat 9 and the sharp 11. These are called alterations. Very typical to add these to your dominant chords. By the way, this is also called a flat 5. A lot of musicians will refer to it as that, or sharp 11. They mean the same thing. Now here's the run. We're going to grab this chord and then we're going to do the run starting from the A flat. So here's the fingering that I use. Basically, what I would do first is play the 3 finger on A flat, and then I would play B, C sharp, E, and F with your right hand with these fingers here. And then I would just basically block these up the piano, okay? I know it sounds really weird, but this is the beauty of jazz. We get these really colorful notes, okay? Once you've blocked this up the piano, just like this, go ahead and split out the notes or arpeggiate the notes. So what we'll do is, and what we want to do is look for those crossover points to the A flats. This is really, really important. Your eyes should be looking at the A flat every time you cross over to find your new position, okay? And this is the way to gain speed. So let's go ahead and do this. This is the run. We're going to do the intro, the chord. I like to roll this chord, which is super nice. See what I did there? I start from the bottom, roll it up, and I'm going to grab the A flat. And the way to speed this up is basically you're going to grab the A flat, and I would just do like this. You're going to go 1 octave. Okay, and the goal here is to just do 1 octave. Then once you've done 1 octave, you can do 2 octaves. Okay, and you want to really work on your speed. By the way, if you guys are enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button for more videos just like this, all right? So this is what I call the cocktail piano arpeggio. It works really well on cocktail tunes. Okay, and then whatever tune you happen to be playing. Really nice, okay? Now, I do encourage you to play this in other keys, and a great resource we have at Piano with Jonny is called Smart Sheet Music. Not only can you print the sheet music that you're seeing here on the page, but you can change it with a click of one button. You can put this in any key, so if you want to practice this in the key of E flat, you know, you could do that super easily. So you can check that out. I'll put a link below to Piano with Jonny where you can get the sheet music. But that's Cocktail Piano Arpeggio number 1. Make sure you get the speed on this. You want the run to be really smooth. I want to teach you blues arpeggio. This is the second one, and for this one I usually use it on a blues tune. So if I'm setting up, you know, kind of a slow blues, let me play it for you and then show you what it would sound like. And this is called a slow blues tune called Bernie's Blues. You can actually learn this in our course, slow blues course at Piano with Jonny. But basically, the setup for this, we're going to go D, A, same chord we played before, okay? But our melody is going to change. 1 and 2 and, kind of walking down to C minor. And then our chord here is going to be a little bit different, okay? This is a G7. We've got a flat 13. And a sharp 9. G7, flat 13, and sharp 9. This is also called the sharp 5, okay? So you're gonna grab it like this. And then for the run, a little bit actually easier than the first run that you learned. Just like this. So you're gonna go left middle finger B flat, B, E flat, G. Okay, and once again, you're gonna block these up the piano just like this, okay? And then finally, you're going to end with that B flat on the end, okay? By the way, if you guys are enjoying this lesson, I do encourage you to check out our full-length course on this topic. We have a course called Intro and Outro Runs. And basically, you learn 6 of these runs. And we really focus on gaining speed. We focus on how to use them in songs. We focus on fingering, on technique. We practice them in other keys. It's a very, very comprehensive course on this. So I'll put a link to that below. But basically, we get to this chord here. That's going to be your landing spot. And then practice your run. I would block it up the piano just like this. Then you can do it broken. Go nice and slow. Finding all these positions. Again, your eyes want to look for that B flat. That's going to be your crossover. Okay, and that's a really helpful landmark for your eyes in terms of gaining speed. Now, I do like to end with a B flat on the end. I like that little crossover because you kind of punch that note. And it's also kind of showy when you're starting a tune, you know. You can really grab that, punch that note. It's really makes it sort of a little bit more impressive, I would say. Now, in terms of gaining speed, you want to do the same thing. I would just work on 1 octave. Okay, and then once you have 1 octave, do 2 octaves. And then 3 octaves. Okay, again, you really want to break it into small pieces, small chunks, and once you master that chunk, and then put that chunk with the next chunk until you can do the full run up the piano. And then this is, again, where I'd start the blues. Now, this works really well on a slow blues, but you could jump into a medium blues. It's called St. Louis Blues. Works really well on that as well. All right, this concludes this week's quick tip. And if you enjoyed this lesson, I want to encourage you to check out pianowithjonny.com. We have over 600 step-by-step lessons in jazz, cocktail jazz, Latin jazz, swing, blues, pop, piano, improvisation, technique, theory. It is the full learning platform for all playing levels. Also, be sure to check out the Piano with Jonny membership. This gives you unlimited access to our entire course library. Plus, you get to be part of our live monthly events, including our live Q&A, where you can ask me your practice questions, our live workshop lessons, our student assessments, where you can send me a video and I'll give you personalized feedback. We do weekly challenges for our members, and we have an amazing community. So go check out pianowithjonny.com, and I'll see you in the next one.